we saw the dust up, amongst other things that happened. There was the big fight toward the end of the game with DK Metcalf. There was an interception. DK makes the tackle on Warner. Warner pitches the ball to, I can't remember who had the ball, but DK.
It was Greenlaw.
Yeah, DK kind of goes for a suplex or a souffle, as you like to call it, and kind of throws him to the side. He didn't slam him into the turf. When you watch it, he's, all right, it was a hard tackle. I don't, was it out of bounds? Was it too much? I don't know. It was a bit aggressive, but it wasn't, Warner wasn't like just combobulated like he really had some momentum. There wasn't a ton of momentum behind that because that's a big dude.
Well, and also that's just a tackle. I'm sorry. I mean, I get that it's not that outrageous. Like, did the guy it's basically the same tackle that Devin Witherspoon did on whoever the Rams player was.
And Witherspoon got flagged.
Right. He got flagged for it. You knew you were going to get flagged for it. But, I mean, Warner, did he jump up, the Ram player? Did he jump up and, shove Witherspoon or anything like that?
Well,
no.
then he hit him in the back. DK's on the ground, and he bends him forward to where DK's head is going basically between his knees on the ground, and then runs off. And that's where DK got up and went over and grabbed his face mask. And to Warner's credit, it's a savvy move on his part to then play the victim, put the arms up in the air like, what? What's going on? What are you so hot about? And it worked for him. And then you get this little guy, Lenore. How do you say his first name? Diamador or something like that, Lenore?
Dave, you just did an entire broadcast.
Yeah, Diamador Lenore.
I was hoping you could chime
Comes in
there.
like a straight sucker. Comes into the pile, delivers a blow to Jake Bobo, who's not even looking at him. Looked like an uppercut from a distance, and you see his head rock where this guy comes running into the pile.
Knocked his helmet off.
It was. I mean, that is such chicken bleep. What a chicken bleep move. And then he's being celebrated on Twitter. I saw all his fans. You're the man. Don't let them get away with it. The sea chickens. Blah blah blah. I'm like, really? That's a man move? That's a chicken bleep move. But here's a little bit of Dave's reaction after Lenore delivered a sucker punch in there.
These two teams, as we said at the beginning, don't particularly like each other, and now we got some grabbing on and some pushing and shoving going on.
Hey, whoa.
And now Lenore just throws a punch, and guys are coming off the sidelines, and you can't do that from the sidelines.
They need to throw number 2 out, Lenore.
And after all is said and done, they just might.
He just came flying in and just cold-cocked. I think it was Bobo.
Bobo's not even looking at him. He's not even – he's like in the middle of this pile of people, and here comes Lenore come running in here. I'm safe now. I won't have to answer for this. Boom, let me deliver a blow.
Yeah,
he
I
needs
was
to
watching
be
it.
fined heavily, suspended. I mean, that is such chicken bleep. I'm not saying what DK did. I don't think DK received a flag on that, did he?
Yeah, he got flagged.
For the tackle?
Yeah, for the tackle. That's what I saw anyway. So, and then I think when Warner shoved him in the back, like you said, and that could have hurt him. Could have hurt him. He threw his hat down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was ridiculous. I sound like my dad there. It's like, whoa, hey! Like,
Hey,
you can't,
now.
what are you doing? Number 2 was just, and he was trying to kind of play up the hero like he was the hero and then acting like, why did I get thrown out of the game? First he punches DK and then he hits Bobo and knocks his helmet off. So I saw Bobo on the plane. I'm like, dude, that made me so angry. And he's like, yeah, I didn't even see him. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, he was just trying to get DK out of there. And then this guy just comes flying in. I think the thing that will make us all feel happy, and I can't wait till, what is it, Tuesday, probably around 1 o'clock, we're going to get the fines. And I hope he gets fined like $50,000 because that was just, 2 punches. The guy's not looking. He wasn't even involved in the play. So, yeah, that. I don't know. Is that going to brew up the hatred for the 49ers?
Oh, I think we'll get into some other things. We'll get into something in a minute I showed you earlier on Twitter. But Pete Carroll talking about, the fight at the end of the game and hearing the 49ers talking trash to him.
Fortunately, nothing stupid really happened. Nobody got hurt or hit or cheap shots or anything else. But that's going to happen sometimes. And it's a bitter taste, and guys are ready to frickin' fight. And that's what it went to fighting time. And that's not right. It's not okay. And that's why you get penalized, you get thrown out or whatever, So, but I wish we won a game and that happened. And I can hear them on the other side. They're chirping about it, how it's going during the fray of it. Fortunately, nothing really bad happened. And we take our hits.
I guess he missed that part of the replay. Or maybe he's talking about his guys delivering cheap shots, or I don't know. Nobody got hurt, so that part I agree with, but he missed a big one with Lenore there. And then, yeah, I showed you the video, the long snapper of the 49ers was doing a post-game video that he put out on Twitter. I retweeted it if you want to see it, at Bob Stelton or at Wyman and Bob on Twitter, but DK's been doing sign language after he scores a touchdown. Mm-hmm. I don't know what he's saying in these moments, but he's doing sign language. This guy did sign language, taking a shot at DK after the game from his locker stall. And, of course, 49er Nation loved it. And, yeah, you tell him, same thing as they were telling Lenore.
What did he sign?
I'm not entirely sure. People were saying bleep around and find out is what he is supposedly. I don't know. I'm sort of leaning on those in the comments that said, because other people I don't know what that means. Yeah. And then somebody came on and actually corrected him, somebody who apparently knows sign language, and says, hey, I'm just trying to help you, but you're not saying what you think you're saying there. If you're trying to say bleep around and find out, it's this, and she demonstrated. So I don't know. I think he was trying to say that to DK because he starts it out with 1-4 and then does whatever his
and I think DK's trying to do something that's cool, and and then this guy's trying to make like a joke out of it. To me, that's really poor taste. I mean, am I offended? No, I don't get offended, but I mean, I just think it's a chump move, right? As Graz would say, it's a chump move. So the one thing out of this I kind of worry about though is DK, and I love that kid. I don't know why. I feel like he really has a good heart, and he gets angry, and it's a vicious game, and he plays it that way. So, and I know that there's been some things that are unnecessary, but I just don't think he really did anything wrong, I guess, other than going back and grabbing Warner's face mask.
It's hard to blame him after that hit, though.
Yeah.
It'd be different if Warner just kind of pushed him or something, but
it was
bent him forward, man. The guy's on his butt on the ground.
It was like he folded him in half.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah, and so, I mean, he could have pulled a hamstring or back, whatever.
DK's had a broken neck in college. I mean, you just don't. Yeah. Hitting anybody from behind, especially if you're anywhere around the head area, is remarkably dangerous. It's why it's not allowed in boxing and fighting. You can't have a blow to the back of the head.
Yeah,
it's too dire. What can happen there? So, DK. I didn't blame. I understood it. I completely understood. I would have been enraged as well. My fear is it rubbing off? We saw JSN with that penalty earlier in the game where he shoved the guy in the face. And you're like, dude, what are you doing, man? I know he's a rookie. He'll learn, but in that moment, it's like, dude, use your head. You can't do that. You're doing it right there with all the officials around you. And, the guy may have deserved it. I'm not saying it was warranted or not. You just can't do it.